You did everything right today. You skipped breakfast until 10. You walked in the morning sun. You drank your water. You did the things the health videos told you to do. And that belly fat? Still there. Here is the part no one is telling you. And it is the reason millions of people follow every morning rule perfectly and still cannot shift weight around their midsection. Everything you built in the morning can be quietly, silently dismantled in the 3 hours before you close your eyes. And the mechanism behind it? It is not willpower. It is not discipline. It is hormones working against you at exactly the moment they are supposed to work for you. Stay with me, because what you are about to learn happens inside your body every single night, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. The hormone curve. Your body runs on a chemical clock. Cortisol, the stress hormone, is supposed to follow a very specific arc, high in the morning to get you moving, gradually declining through the afternoon. And by midnight, close to zero. That near zero valley is not empty time. That is when something remarkable happens. Growth hormone pulses into your bloodstream. Cellular repair begins. And your body starts pulling energy directly from visceral fat, the deep abdominal fat wrapped around your organs, the fat linked to inflammation, insulin resistance, and metabolic disease. Your body wants to burn it. It is biologically programmed to burn it during sleep. But something is blocking that window for most people, and it is happening in their living room every single evening. Cortisol never drops. The nervous system never receives the signal it has been waiting for, the signal that the day is over, that the danger has passed, that it is safe to recover, and without that signal, the fat-burning window never opens. In traditional Japanese health philosophy, the evening is not considered leftover time at the end of a productive day. It is treated as the second half of your metabolic cycle. What you do after 9 p.m. determines what your body does while you sleep. The morning habits set the tone. The evening habits determine the outcome. The goal is not to wind down. The goal is to send your brain a precise biological signal, the signal of safety, before you lose consciousness. Most people spend their evenings doing the exact opposite, not because they are lazy, because no one explained the biology. The first thing working against you is the light above your head. Bright overhead lighting, the kind in most homes, most kitchens, most living rooms, communicates directly with a region of your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. This is the master clock, and it cannot distinguish between noon sunlight and your LED ceiling fixture. When bright white light hits your retinas after dark, your hypothalamus reads it as midday. Melatonin, the chemical that triggers the cortisol decline, gets suppressed. Cortisol stays elevated. The fix is so simple it almost sounds fake. Switching to dim, warm-toned lighting after 9 p.m. begins shifting your hormonal curve within minutes, not hours, minutes. This is not a design preference. This is a direct endocrine input. Your light environment is a lever, and most people never touch it. Here is the harder truth. Your phone is functioning as a cortisol delivery device every night, not because of the screen light alone, though that matters. It is what the content does to your neurology. Scrolling triggers dopamine-seeking loops. News activates threat appraisal circuits. Messages activate social comparison and vigilance systems. Every microstimulation tells your hypothalamus the environment is still demanding something from you. The world is still requiring your attention. The threats are still out there. Research consistently shows that cognitive stimulation close to sleep delays melatonin onset and keeps nighttime cortisol elevated well past midnight, compressing and disrupting the hormonal recovery window your body needs. Putting your phone in another room or on airplane mode is not a wellness trend. It is endocrine hygiene. This same category is brushing your teeth. If this is landing for you, if you're starting to see why the morning habits alone were never going to be enough, share this with one person who is struggling with the same thing. This information changes the entire frame. Keep watching, because the most underestimated piece is coming up. Now let us talk about eating late, because this one has a mechanism most people have never heard explained. When you eat a significant meal close to sleep, your autonomic nervous system pivots hard toward digestion. Insulin rises to manage blood sugar. Acid production increases. Blood flow redirects toward your gut. All of this signals to your body metabolic activity is required. This is not a recovery moment. Growth hormone, the primary driver of tissue repair and visceral fat breakdown during sleep. pulses most powerfully in the deepest stage of slow-wave sleep. But that pulse is blunted when your digestive system is still processing a meal. The suppression is not minor. Studies examining growth hormone secretion in subjects who ate close to bedtime versus those who finished eating 3 hours earlier showed meaningful differences in peak hormone output during the night. Finishing your last meal at least 3 hours before sleep is not about calorie timing in the traditional sense. It is about clearing the metabolic runway so your body can do what it was designed to do once you fall asleep. This is the lever most people have never been handed. Gentle evening movement is the fastest legal way to down-regulate your stress response, not intense exercise. That would elevate cortisol further. Slow walking, light stretching, deliberate stillness in motion. What this does physiologically is raise heart rate variability, a measurable marker of parasympathetic nervous system activity. When your heart rate variability rises, your brain reads the environment as non-threatening. The amygdala, your brain's threat detection center, dials down its activity. To your nervous system, slow movement is the biological equivalent of saying, "There is nothing chasing us, the hunt is over, recovery can begin." 10 minutes is enough to shift your physiological state measurably before sleep. Measurably before sleep. And now, the step that almost every health video skips past because it sounds too simple to be taken seriously. Writing. Specifically, writing down tomorrow's unfinished tasks and unresolved concerns on paper before bed. Here is why this matters at a neurological level. Your brain maintains what researchers call an open-loop register. Every incomplete task, every unresolved conversation, every pending decision, your mind holds these in active working memory, not metaphorically. Literally consuming attentional resources and sustaining a low-grade alert state that keeps cortisol from declining. This was first documented by psychologist Bluma Zygarnik nearly a century ago. The mind treats unfinished items as ongoing obligations, scanning for them repeatedly, even during what should be rest. The reason you lie awake replaying your to-do list. This is the mechanism. Writing the task down, specifically, writing a concrete plan for when and how you will handle it, sends a completion signal to the hippocampus. The open loop registers as closed. The threat scanning system disengages. A study published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology demonstrated that writing out specific plans for pending tasks measurably reduced intrusive thoughts and freed cognitive resources compared to simply thinking about those tasks. 2 minutes with a pen does what an hour of anxious lying awake cannot accomplish. This is the difference between trying to force yourself to sleep and giving your nervous system actual permission to let go. Let us put this together. The 3 hours before you sleep are not downtime. They are the second half of your metabolic day. Dim the light. It is a hormonal signal, not an ambiance choice. Distance yourself from your phone. It is endocrine hygiene, not a detox gimmick. Finish eating at least 3 hours before sleep, not for calorie reasons, to protect a growth hormone pulse that burns visceral fat while you sleep. Move slowly. Give your nervous system evidence that the threat has passed. Write it down. Close the open loops your brain is holding open at the cost of your recovery. None of this requires anything new to buy, nothing to track, no supplement. It requires understanding what is actually happening inside your body, and then refusing to accidentally block it every single night. Your body has a fat-burning window. It opens while you sleep. You have been unknowingly keeping it closed. Now you know how to open it. If this shifted how you think about sleep and metabolism, the share button is right there. Someone in your life needs this exact information. And if you want to understand the morning side of this equation, that video is next.